I married in this life to who's corporeal Archangel Gabriel. See, like in some alien people, I was never one. I didn't believe in him really. I was like not sure what to believe until my son claimed he was abducted, and he only reported on it years after the fact because he just thought he would be dismissed as crazy. It occurred to him at 7, and he reports that he was abducted by Greys, and that's when I went to pray to Jesus as not knowing who I was, because I didn't know until a year ago. A little over, yeah, about in a month. And this being came upon me. A month before that, I had a vision from God. And I've never had a vision before. I'm not like a prophet, a medium, a psychic. In fact, I like to use the analytical, logical mind because my mom, she seemed pretty crazy. And she'd talk about me being, or the family curse or something. And I was raised by my grandmother because my mother was kind of just, neglectful, kind of flighty. And I just thought, okay, but she didn't really seem to match the description of schizophrenic. But she did, but she didn't, but she did. Like other schizophrenics made more sense. So she has like a childlike mentality, and my dad called her evil because because she used to stick her dirty dishes under the bed, of all things. That's how he judged evil. My bio dad. I met him when I was 19. I stopped talking to him when he said I should have been an abortion. All right, so for the first 3 years of my life, I had abject terror with my mother. Like hardcore, like burning fear in your gut and your limbs shaking so badly like this because of the shit I saw that it became core memories before I was 1 year old. I remember before I was 1 year old, teething. My mom was having a party in her little single wide shit ass mobile home. I hated the colors back then, by the way. That ugly orange, brown, green, like, what is it? But anyway, I was supposed to tell you about the crucifixion. I'm telling you about the beginning of my life. I never really talk about it. I never really discussed it with anybody. I fought with kids like people fight pit bulls for adult entertainment because they were low crime biker people. Oh well. I had one friend. His name was Roscoe. He was one of my mom's adult guy friends, but he was nice. He was kind to me. He held me on his lap and gave me hugs and made me feel secure and safe. I was grateful for him. I was probably maybe 1 year old. I was really grateful to him, honestly. If you want to know how a child feels, it's just the same as an adult. That little, probably more so. I know what I felt. My therapist that I went to, like probably before this all began, she called me a misogynist supporter because I wanted to dress like a woman. I stopped talking to her because I didn't know what to say, because I look at feminism as the worst form of misogyny there ever was. To lower myself as a man, you've got to be kidding. You don't know what an art it is to be a woman, but some of you are just too lazy to act on it. My bad for wanting to do more. Why do you think men are doing it too? They know what's up. You know what? I wanted to be a gay man in his life. Let me tell you the reason why. Not really. Kind of. I was being funny. Because I have 7 kids, right? And see, Lucifer fucked up. Mom with 7 kids and 4 grandkids. I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time emotionally tonight. I don't want to be alone. When I was alone at Christmas because I talk crazy. But no one will listen. I'm a messenger of God. I didn't know until a year ago. No one hear me. Because I over-explained it. I can't process outside until I have this weird form of, I guess, ataxia. Fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm not talking to you. See what I mean? Because it happens in my sight, in my mind, not my eyes. I'm not seeing anything no one else is seeing or hearing anything anyone else is hearing. I saw this pastor who does the same thing, but he's more together because this is, I guess, been his whole life thing where I just acquired it. I think I get to feel some way about it. It's frustration. Unless you hear everybody's like just wants to dismiss you as crazy because if what I'm saying is true. What does that mean for you? What does that really ultimately mean for everybody? I don't want to see people suffering. But I'm like seeing like visions of people saying the hour has begun. The clock on Revelations has begun to tick. And it started a year ago. And I'm not a Revelation nerd person. And I'm so frustrated because I'm like, have I ever acted like this before? Do I say this shit? No. Well, did it occur after a certain event? Because it did for me. And I came to you right away. I told you something. It started acting immediately bizarre when the minute before that you didn't need to. I was normal. I was doing my chores. What is wrong with the mentality of my family right now? It was meant to be this way because, you know what? Frankly, what I'm saying is so much. And I'm so frustrated so much and I can't process it. Because no one will just sit and listen. Ask me some questions so I can see if I'm not going the fucking crazy. I know I'm not. Because I'm seeing things. I know my body and I know my mind. And if I honestly thought I was going crazy, trust and know that I would get medication immediate. But I'm not taking medication because I've never had these symptoms before. I wasn't having these symptoms off of medication until a certain event happened to me. And it was very immediate and very sudden. And it happened to fall on an anniversary, 1 year anniversary of when I had a near-death experience. Went to heaven and came back. And then a month following that vision, I had this dream, and it's what the dream starts out as, or it's weird. It's not even, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a lucid dream, but it is very strange how it presents itself, because I've never had anything happen like that before, and I'm not a fitful sleeper. Give me just a sec. But here's the thing about that. So this is a dream I had. I was just sleeping. I was asleep. My eyes were like closed. But I had this awareness of my closed eyes all of a sudden and an awareness of a waking mind, but still asleep. But not quite lucidity, but very aware. Because lucidity has less awareness in it, but it is an awareness nonetheless. All right? So then what happened is I'm sitting there and it's dark and I hear psh, like a fuse going off. And what I see are the hieroglyphs inside of a pyramid. I'm not a pyramid lady either. I've got mother. I'm like really stupid and I'm retarded as a mother. I'm kind of just like anybody else. I'm a slob. Not really, but that's him choking me, keeping me from talking. It's not a cigarette, funnily enough, because he can bend the air in my vocal cords, because that's how possessions work. They can use actually your mind and like kind of trigger certain events to happen to cause your body to do things, and they know more than a neurologist because it's God. He designed your brain after all. He didn't like go, too bad I couldn't make you better. You are in death after all. Prolonging your lives after each sickness or trying to get better. But that's the inherent instinct in you to live. And that is good. You want your existence. Some of you wish you didn't have it because you hate this place enough that you have no options. You feel like you don't do, or you feel like you do not. Because some people just absolutely feel like they have no other option but just to jump out of this ship. I'm angry right now. This is me angry because I'm hurting. I don't care how you see me. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you believe me. And I sure the fuck don't want you to come to my house and start bugging the shit out of me. I know that much. But I have an important message to tell people if they'll listen. If you don't want to fucking listen, no, just do whatever the fuck you want to do. I just tried to warn you is all. Because I can hear heaven and the councils of heaven and God and what they're saying about you. All. And what's been done on this earth that everybody turns a blind eye to because they don't want to be the one to cause the problems, and the one that caused the problems are getting silenced and shut down. Trying to warn you all. I am the Holy Spirit in the flesh incarnate. The Holy Spirit. I'm not filled with the Holy Spirit. I am the Holy Spirit in flesh. I am the only begotten daughter. I am trying to warn you all. Listen or do not. I'm not concerned. You can see the luminary glowing out of my face right now. You can see my skin glowing. Just look at it. It pulses through me. But you'll probably dismiss that too. My eyes look a little dark and funny to you. Because I come from on high. I'm an angel. On high. But not in this life. Not even at all. I'm angry. I'm so frustrated is what it is. Just because of my personality, I'm just an otter. Like, you know, those little personality tests, I'm an otter. I like to play around a lot. My favorite people are kids. Any age, take your pick. I love to hear them all. I love their stories. I love the little for this. I love the big for the small. I love young adults. I love to spend time with them. I learned so much from you all. I do. This is frightening to me. Very fucking frightening. Who I am. How big I am in soul, spirit, my powers. They are immense. Even I tremble at myself. I'm scared of myself. Because of how immense they are. And to be told who you are and not know and suddenly find out. That's a lot for a person to take on, okay? Just please know. It is. On top of that, I've been accosted in a lot of ways, and I'm flooding in the memories. I am Aphrodite, but I never came here to Earth. This is my last stop before going home. It's called End Times Omega. Funny, the Greek symbol, huh? Even though Dad said it way before then. Way back when they were Sumerian. God, there's so much to tell you, but I sound so nuts, and I don't have anybody to talk to that's educated in this shit. Really actually educated, understanding. They read more like a Bible scholar that isn't just a Bible scholar, you know? That would look at it and go, huh? And I can't really, because it's like so much coming in that I'm silent, talking to these beings often off to myself now. In my own home, I'm isolating myself because I don't want to impose on these people anymore, because every time I get around them, I'm compelled to say, listen, this is what's going on now, this is what's going on, and they're just like, you are nuts. Because at what perspective do I tell you this stuff? Historically, archaeologically, why the pyramids are there, at what level, and how much? I have all the text inside of my soul and spirit. I am the complete text. All the universe. Heaven. Boom. There goes Dad. Boom. Again. We are the invisible beings that make up your thunder, your lightning, and all these other things that we do. We embody concepts too. Oh, you're a godless bunch. Some, not all. Because even in the godless, I found that they had stuff that was worth keeping. See, I've been watching movies and seeing these predictions, and I'm so scared because I saw the leftovers and the guilty remnants. Why were they wearing white? Why were they smoking like that? Because I've been doing that, and I just started that. What the fuck? I just saw that recently. Abigail, my daughter, told me to watch it. And I did not really believe in this weird spirituality thing. I was religious because religion is not necessarily what you believe, but what you do daily. Your rituals are what you do daily. And it doesn't matter, they're all rituals. What's where you do your actions daily? Where do you put them? Where do you put your thoughts, your heart, your mind, and your actions too? Your thoughts, your words, your actions. You see my face is changing in weird little ways. I look kind of in and out, but still the same. That's what possessions were making fun of after all. Similarly. Because they kind of understood this event because they understood the process of it. And so whenever this event happened, because it was predicted in deeper texts that are not upon this earth any longer, because they've been destroyed to time and to armies that were trying to wipe out other past traditions so they could root down theirs, and it failed miserably. And it cost the world a lot. In the beginning, the Word was good, and it was with God, my Father Yahweh. God, Creator, Lord, God Almighty. All beings alien to this planet. Are pillars of creation. Not all beings understand God because they are concepted bodies that pillars of creation do, because we also do experiments. That's why some of alien people, that I wasn't one, please wait, I'm getting messages from both sides. They're talking behind me, God and Yahweh. I sound like a schizophrenic right now. I recognize that. I'm not hearing them audibly with my ears. It's a high ringing. I see it in a light frequency. That's how I hear it. It's a perception through my soul, not my mind. I feel it going through my body. I'm having physical sensations. I'm taking on new traits that I did not have before. This is not a symptom of schizophrenia. This stuff right here, this is very fucking new. But I saw it in a movie before because I love historical movies for some reason. I did not know why. And see, when I do these movements, sometimes I'm not even aware of them as what I'm going to say next. I know not. Because I don't speak like this normally. Or I didn't. Now I do this lyrical speech that I start to do. And see, you see my fingers, how they're moving in a rhythmic timing. There's a clock right there. And I started making large purchases, odd things like roses and bath stuffs and bath oils. I don't know why, I just had a need to do it. I started drinking hot tea. Yeah, we speak your ghetto language. Sorry. To us, you've been speaking quite ugly to one another and being very cruel. I wish there was something I could do to convince you, but I cannot. I'm not a magician. I don't do magical tricks. I'm not a parlor pony. Sorry. I am, on the other side, a white Pegasus. And I look very real when you see me. More real than anything you've ever seen in your life. I am more vivid and more bright, and I have violet eyes. Not violent, violet eyes. They are very big, and I am very beautiful up in heaven. I am very ugly here. I recognize that. I am sorry, but I am fine. I don't care how I look to anybody. I would walk out of my house with my crotch hanging out because I was so depressed I didn't care what I looked like at 305 pounds. Because I was so depressed and so miserable because of the things I said to people. And I hurt them, and I didn't mean that because that wasn't my core intent. Because I suffered so much in this life and just kind of moved on. That was my personality. Very rarely did I ever get a message from God or Jesus. Except for a few times. There was a time when I was 11. I often prayed to God as a child. I was a Methodist, and they got it right about Abaddon. Good job. Figure it out. Some Revelations is mentioned. My birth name here is Amber Dawn. And so a year ago, he telling me he was going to kill me. He was going to send someone to kill me to my house. I was not a conspiracy theorist, though I did hear about some conspiracies, and I thought, I wonder if there's any truth to that. Interesting, huh? You know, because you could see parallels between things that maybe had some connections. But to me, I wasn't sure what to believe because, we don't know what all the backstory is or all the details that are going on. We just assume somebody's going to do something, especially whenever you don't know what's going on at all. But you think you do? Because how insane would it be to say that everybody that you see in the government today are probably demons corporeally because I emptied out hell and now I see. How do I convince you of that? Because that does sound insane. How do I explain to you that Robert Hunter Biden is Lucifer Abaddon? And he is so basic, he's in the flesh, that he is high on meth. Still fucking 7-year-old kids I see, little girls. I saw that on some picture on a laptop. But when I saw it, I did not know who I was. You see. Oh, I wish I could tell you all this story about me. Oh, I wish I could. What have been caused to follow what he did to you and me and all of us. And how I can get you out, but you will not let me because you want to wallow in shit and not believe any of it. Oh, when I see you and the person, I just try to be not a stranger, but a friendly face to remind you you are good. For even I felt sorry for Robert Hunter Biden when I knew not who I was. I said, man, that kid, no wonder he does these kinds of things, because I worked for CBS and I noticed a little pattern. Some of you have seen Lucifer. He's being painted as a wonderful guy. Nice little friends and doing all kinds of sweet little things to people. Kind of half narcissist and half not. How could that be? Have I changed his mind? I doubt that. Because see, way before the universe was ever made, and the reason why you are all here in the palm of my hand somewhere in heaven, the entire universe in the palm of my hand, I stand in front of a fireplace ready to throw you all in. Because that is how I come from, filtering down, possessing myself, after all. You see, did you see my teeth? You can go back a little bit and review them. Because I am a fey being with very strong powers. Fey are light beings. Lumeria, after all. I am coming from high on high, filtering down through my body to tell all of you that we get so far we don't give a fuck about you. We have no problem throwing you in. You could be garbage to us all. You are smaller, infinitely smaller than subatomic particles, after all. Yesu, I am an angel on high, and I do not care how you feel about any fucking thing. And how I filter in, because you see how I move differently. As I talk to you, you see a weird jerking, even in the phone that I process through. If you don't believe me, just give it time here on Earth, because things process very fucking slowly. So we have to lower ourselves to your standards to slow down, after all. Do you notice the differences in faces as they come through? They kind of lighten and brighten and darken and shade before you. But yet I did not plan this speech at all. We are very precise. Let me explain to you how and why. Give me just a second as I take a deep breath and ground its center. You better listen and listen close when I am done. Because all of you will be sorry. Very fucking sorry when you did not listen and hear what she had to say to you, my dears. Trust and know that. If you watch this show close, you might see something go across my nose. Or you might see some light flashes or orbs or kind of weird little shadows going through if you want to review. And you'll notice that this body is kind of taken over just a little bit, but she's right in the middle, right in the center of it. And she can control it at any time because we are from God and we gave you free will to do what you wanted to, after all. That is the difference between our possession and a demonic one. Which, let me tell you, little people, so that you can be clear, they are nothing but dinosaur poop, my dears. It was a temper tantrum of Satan's to make little friends, I guess, because he was all alone in his mess here on Earth. Oh yes, there were fallen angels, but they didn't go all the way through because they have some intelligence too. You might have seen some of them and reported them on your shows and reviews. I saw them. Don't worry, I took care of them. The Mothman, he's one of ours. Yes, that is true. I had him come on in if you would like to speak to him, because he tried to warn all of you he is an angel of God. But like here, we get pretty ugly. So they had to have reconciliation after all, because we have been apart from you all for so long. Your time. Not ours. It's only slow to you because you are in three-dimensional view, even yourselves, after all. If you don't like what I have to say, just move away. Someone else might need to hear the message. It's not for you, because not all eyes see and not all eyes hear. There's another one channeling through. I think it's Yesu, so I'll let him have the floor. You see, my face goes asymmetrical too, as this is also a review of a yin and yang situation. We're kind of having a battle, me and this guy over here, because I'm filtering back in as the angel on a high, very high. I'm rather shaky after all. I'm going to take a minute. Please give me a second. I apologize if I seem like I have multiple personalities. I can see with a lot of highs. But I need to sit down and relax. I need to gather my energy because it's shaking me up so much. It's like I feel like a jolt of energy going through me. So I look like I'm high on something or jittery because I feel like a caffeine buzz. It feels like a caffeine buzz. I'm sipping on tea, but I might get some water because I am really struggling with this feeling right now, and I need to try to relax and ground and center. Do you see what I'm experiencing? Because they're all trying to warn you through me, like I'm one great big cell phone. And as a tool, my body is a tool for them to communicate to you directly. When I say them, you've heard of gods too, and that's been probably caused some confusion for you because many have wondered why so many religions. If there's really a God, why a Christian God? Why not the Muslim God? You will not believe me if I tell you, and it will just offend all of you, and then you'll all panic and run, and I don't know. Maybe you could handle it. Maybe you would just ignore it. Maybe that's when I piss you off and you shut it off. So I don't want to come at you like that. I don't know if I want to. I'll maybe talk about it later. Like I said, even the Christians don't have it all right either, especially those in America, because many have modernized their churches and made it about them after all. That's not my head shake. That's not my hands moving. But it's kind of like, it's like a weird puppetry where I can like, okay, can I have a drag of my bait then? Because I am trying to cope through this. Okay, they're letting me have my voice using my hands. They're like, yeah, do what you want. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is light work. This is energy. And I'm also, you've heard of quantum entanglement. Yes, that's real. We give you these ideas, we kind of hint at it and give you like clues and things. So you have concepts of this because they were impossible to explain to people who didn't yet have this understanding back then, that you have now this language that you can use and kind of comprehend. But a lot of you are confused on science and understanding a more profound meaning of what that is. Because my husband is a science person. I like science very much. I know. Stop. This is annoying because this is not me moving my hands. So I look like, you know, this is frustrating. And that's the jittery energy in me. And so that's also, it's like having a toddler, but it's kind of like a Ouija board hands too, because these hands are communicating to other people that might happen upon this video. They need to see it. And this is very weird because, like, back at Christmas, I came upon myself as one of the pillar angels because apparently I, like, went around and met a lot of people up in heaven before I got here. Angels all included, they all fell in love with me. And we all became friends because, you know, I was like, well, shoot, now what? This pisses my friend off too. It turned out to be ISIS. I find out. In heaven, she is my mother. One of them. My mama. Mama Nikki. Nikki. Her name is Nikki. Nakalnada. She's here and there too. We all are. Because we are major gods. We're outside of the universe. And we can filter in as flesh beings and kind of like, well, my soul is so big because I can infrastructure all of this. And my soul, I'm like my soul structure. That's how this is working. Now, I want to cover something because this is where it gets a little dangerous for me to come out and come clean. Because I recognize that this is a danger to other people. People that have classified information, they're going to want to know, what do you know? And then that's when I get in trouble. I know this. If they take me seriously enough, that could happen. But I have to get out a message, so what do I do? Notice my Muslim. In Muslim. We're not going to discuss that unless you want to. This is a sign for my Father. This is how you know He's speaking to you. This is like, this is yes, and I know no. What's maybe? What's not going to answer? I did not know that was going to happen. Anyway, so now I'll let him have the floor. Is this the end of the world? Is this Omega? Do we have time? Speak on it. Tell him what I'm feeling inside of my body. Right now I feel fear. I don't know exactly what I'm seeing. Okay, he's putting a vision into my eyes, and I'm trying to recognize what is happening. I will convey what I feel because I feel it across my soul. I don't see it across my being. What I'm seeing are colors of light coming through my body, and I'm seeing, so it's changing, and I see a king staring back at me, and he's smiling too, back at you. Hi. How are you doing this? Whoa, cool. How are you doing this, Mugire? Now you're gonna make me look crazy. I know, I remember you, baby. How did you do this, Ikarat? Hold on, there's an angel from on high and also talking to Riyad Ikarat. Auntie? You died? Oh, congratulations. There's an event that happened in heaven simultaneously to this. I bet you not consider these events that we do. I kind of do, but I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I miss you so much. I'm sorry right now I'm talking to someone else in heaven. Is before me. And I want to be there with them so bad. I miss my home. We don't do these kinds of things to others. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cry. I don't mean to make you cry too. If you do, I'll cry for you. Because I miss you too. I do. I want to hug you. Can I hug you soon? I sent you a hug through light. You made me burp on purpose. We don't do that in heaven, dog. You want to experience it? Okay. There you go. Oh, no. You tickle my ear. I hear you. Okay. No, I cannot let you smoke a cigarette. How can I let you do that? Sorry. You know he's saying, okay, okay, yeah. Okay, so this is what he's saying to us. Alright, now you're listening, guys. Sorry, the going up in that language in my different language. Sorry, I'm so happy. I am in that heaven state. I gotta come back now. Oh, no, Nikita. That's why you injected me with heaven wine. That's what they mean. The God, you know, not the blood of the wine. That's horrible. It's children's blood. You sacrifice children in a ritual, a very specific ritual. Ancient Capernaum did it. That's what that's all about. Yeah, oh, anyway. He wants me to smoke a cigarette because he wants to possess me to try to see what that's like. That's where it's in. It's kind of like our weird Las Vegas. It's like Rumspringa. Thank you for the huggies. I saw you bleed that body. You want to come back and smoke a cigarette? I hear you. I hear you. I used to smoke tobacco too because it helped ground me to the earth. That's why I smoke all the time when you see. It also is a good timing stick too. There's multiple purposes. It's a tool for drawing and marking because I have to sign things too in light. Though I can't see here across the veil, I can see over the veil and through the veil and under the veil and around the veil. But I'm not a medium. And a lot of times throughout my life, I could sense beings kind of around me, and I just kind of push them out and block them out. And they're like, I don't know what that's about. Like, I'd even walk through a haunted house and not care. Well, I'd like be like jumping off my back porch. One time my son said to me, he comes up, Mom, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I was on the back porch. But it was like a back time way back, you know, and he was like, Mom, somebody threw a rock at me, because we live on some land, right? So I like my space, get it? Ta-ching. No. Can I get a kaboom? No. He said, we don't do parlor tricks too. Hush. I'm laughing at what they're saying to me because I'm often giggling about that. But I look like a methed out crackhead. That's not nice. He won't show me his face. He keeps showing me mine. Like, you're like, well, I like this hairstyle, I like that hairstyle. I know, right? My Aphrodite. I had to cut my hair. I went and got it done by this nice lady in Colorado. But I need to go get it done again. Or at least I was gonna grow it out, but it's kind of at a funky stage. Because I kind of growing out top because I was doing a pixie. Hello, Faye. And let me tell you, these beings are real. There are many you know not of out in heaven. The universe creations are a little scarier. The ones in heaven, they're cute. The Greys are, again, Satan's competition with other higher order beings. And all this time we've been playing games with them. Because it's like watching this little turd run around and around and around and around, and you entertain us too. Sometimes even the bad ones. That's the messed up part about us, because Azrael, she's got dark thinking, but she's really for high order. She got baptized with Lucifer and upside down. Bitter grandma. And the reason why she had that shirt is because she is like me, and we're smart asses. And we used to ferry the dead across everywhere. Like in Greek time, you see the Hercules cartoon back in the early 90s, Mm-mm. Is it? Seriously? It's like 4? Nah, Korot. I make no predictions. Well, I make predictions. They're not prophecies. They were already delivered unto you. Read the book if you want to. There are many. And they come in all religions. Nanama, hold on for me. Can I see? Nanama. I feel you touching my skin. Oh, Nanama, you did it. You got crowned Indian Queen. Yay, Nanama! This is good news. She got this. She got this. Do you see this? These lights? Some of them, they attract to you. You know why? A lot of you come from heaven. You come to earth. You've fallen here too. We've come to awake you. Because many of you have been lied to about God. You've been misguided about YHWH and about God and about who we are and where you are and what is happening to you all. It is a lie. All of it. That is why you feel so trapped and ensnared and afraid to live however, whenever. What stops you from that after all? I don't care if I sound crazy to you. Many do. Especially if you live a life of comfort. That, it's a better job than, or you're struggling even when you hold on to it, because you struggle, you live paycheck to paycheck, you can't make it after all. On welfare too. I see you. I know you work very hard for what you do. Very hard, more probably so than someone with a lot of money, because they can afford to live outside of their means even. Especially these beings that have taken over your world. And then they place it on you. They want parents angered at children and children angered at parents. They want people frustrated. Many have been influenced mentally
when you ascribe to these, because this is what happened to me. See, one day I felt kind of wretched. The truth of the matter was that I wanted love, but I felt neglected. That is true. Sometimes I just need to hug because I went through so much depression I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to get in bed and go to sleep. Because that was my only reprieve. Because every time I woke up, I began to cry, and I knew not why. Because things were good for me after all. There wasn't a crisis anymore in my life, as there had been. And maybe this was the time that I got to grieve all of those times I didn't get to. Because it seemed like one crisis after another, sometimes a few, sometimes more, sometimes less. But it was like birth pains, really. It was like, you know how you give birth if you're doing natural birth, and that reprieve in between, sometimes that would be like that, or like raising children, new parents, you know what I mean. The honest truth is I cry for you all because I know how bad you're suffering and hurting. Especially the ones that don't believe in God, because he thinks he's given up, and you've given up on him because you can't see any evidence of it now. You think you should. But we've been screaming at you after all, but you just keep turning your head, because why are you so comfortable if you're suffering so much? Yes, we have many faces of being, and to you that looks like bipolar because you are in 3D thinking as well, because that's how you perceive things and best understand them. Yes, there are higher dimensional beings, way higher, and I'm at the top of it all, in spirit and being. I sit at the very tip top, and at the bottom I slip us all. You all come from somewhere. You've all been designed. Did you see my face change? It looks quite a little bit different, like a old grandma now, kind of with a bun in the back of her head and her hands together. The voice is changing after all. Come from Scotland. Built her in that. I see you. Hi, nice to meet you. I've never met you face to face. Give me just a minute, please. I must have my Guinness. I got to stand up. This is the queen. I don't know if I should bow or stand. I'm the queen of Guinea. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. I cannot thank you enough. But I hurt you in my suffering when I was alone, and I didn't want to tell anybody. Oh, baby. I'm so sorry I put you through this thing one night when I suffer. I'm so mean to myself, and I make you cry. I'm afraid, or you're just like, oh my God, please shut up. Or too much, I know. Too much. I know what you mean. You're doing okay. You look so beautiful. You're the best. Are you the best? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. No, you are. I love you so much. Mwah, I love you. Okay. Back in. Thank you. I got the teeth, by the way, from the UK, if you know what I mean. But America, eh? I get the stains. It looks more real. But I got pictures for you. And I get this. Yeah, I gotta wait a little bit. Pretty fall out. But I can still get it, don't worry. No, I'm going through my leg. No, that looks kind of funny. It's not really me. It's kind of a weird twisting. I don't know what they're trying to do. Oh, okay. I see. That growing grounding. Coming back in, I'll be refiltering it just a little bit as I kind of twist and turn. Sorry. I'm working on keys through my body, through the pyramids right now. That's what's happened. Some of you have been noticing some things with your Egyptologists. You might have been noticing some weird feelings if you've been going in there, and it feels kind of like kind of getting nobody the auto go shimmy. Hi, Tin. Yeah, no. No, I mean, I've been listening. I mean, I've been talking ancient Egyptian. I'm like, hey, you want to see what ancient Egyptian sounds like? And nobody's like, not ringing any bells. I guess she thought I was not that. She just lost her mind making it up. I'll see you. And I've been talking to other people, like, out in public. They're like, you're speaking Aramaic. What do you know? You know, like, what kind of, where'd you come from? And then they go, what language are you speaking? And I'll be like, yes, okay. He's like, you gotta get a cigarette. You see how that kind of goes through, but it filters and it kind of comes through because they bend the frequency to hear it through my ears now, too. So, like, we'll have whole conversations. It'll be kind of like, it's like bending, like the EVPs, you know, similar to that, but it's not EVPs, though. And that's kind of weird because I hear it through my ear. I'm trying to see who's coming across now. This is kind of neat. These are processing through the camera because there was they did a ritual that kind of created this, like, kind of casting and this thing. And it really did some fine tuning and working. I think perhaps that's what they meant by that. I think that's because when they're talking about the Illuminati, I've heard about that. In fact, is in the pyramids. I never, again, knew much about that. I was like, I don't know anything about that. I mean, I've read the things, but, you know, the internet, this cat is the internet. I don't know. And I didn't have, like, a whole tome on that stuff. At least not at my house as a flesh person, unknowns to myself. I had this, like, grave concern because last time I saw Yeshua, he was like 35 years old. To the mouth somewhere. Because as an angelic being, we don't really keep track of those things. Your earth age on earth. And not really. I mean, we do, but we don't. But we do, but we don't. But we do, but we don't. But we do, but we don't. Because we can be very legalistic beings. That's what they mean. Don't piss off the fae. Chilling. Ricaya. Hello, little people. Duran speaking. Now you might see a man who has like a green shirt, you know, from a long time ago. I feel Lorenz Urzo. Sianello. Barapidi. Hope you catch that well. Some of you will. Damn. Yeah, let me have a little time, will ya? Shut it. We're speaking to you like, you speak under, you got the right side, we got the left side, you know, you want to get an army too. Oh, shit, really? Now, who was I battling before? That one didn't have much in army. No, I tell you what, he went and took my stone. I think he took it to a few friends. I think it was like, have fun with Aphrodite or something like that, likely. I don't know. I was blind to it all. I don't know what he was doing because I couldn't see where it was going, you know, or nothing like that. I think that's what happened. Are you trying to tell me something? No, I can't know it. All right. No, sorry, I'm not sure what happened. I do know around the same time there was a weird video put out. The conservative twins talked about it.
about this. Somebody did something that Robert under Biden's phone about a pillow, a cigarette, because I think he doesn't smoke really. And then I think it was supposed to be a jab in that bath, that weird bathtub, bathhouse Barry and all that. And that's Lucifer when he pushed me in the bath. And there's a bath that looked just like that. It's a portal. And at the cross, he cut off my arm and pieced me out to the thieves that died with Yeshua. Well, Yeshua's laid to sleep because he needed to sleep. And that was a tough shit he went through. That was hell. That was good enough. Shit. Or you think you popped out, that's some tragic shit to go through. And as soon as you die, you still take it with you. Chelsea said, movie Ghost, it's true. You have that life review. People say you flash before your eyes. Not ring any fucking bells with any of you. All right, then be stupid and keep on with what you're doing until you don't. How many of you know a dead person? How many of you raise your hands if any of you are expecting to live through this your entire lives for eternity? You see that click? Unplanned is just a dog moving, just as I did a flick. How did that happen? We know not. I'm not in control of that, obviously, right? No, not at all. Not at all. In charge of any fucking thing. Not at all. Y'all didn't read that part. Y'all don't read extra text that explain the text to you. Those revelations. Yeah, they were in the Greek text too. And in the pyramids, that's what that was. Curse on all of you. The Zeus is our slave. It's her slave. And she took care of the Titans in 5 minutes, literally. She cussed them out. She said, let me the fuck up! She just come out of the 7th layer of hell. She was pregnant with Azrael. That's truly how it happened too. She got repregnated herself. She had baby in Middle Earth. Damn girl. What popped out of those pyramids back in February is something more real to you, more vivid than you've ever seen, and it is very frightening. The Moana monster doesn't even begin to cover it. Because not only does those pyramids stand at the base of her palm of her hand. Let me tell you something else. See, you might start to notice some changes as I start to do some things that you might recognize in the pyramids. And see, this is unplanned for her after all. She's not fully in control as she can if she needs to, but we got things under control, you know what I mean? Because there are other non-corporeal beings from high above that don't even look like anything you'll ever recognize, but they'd be more real to you because you had to draw it out, and it's very similar to that. But when you see it, there's no describing it at all, not in any of your languages. I ask permission of her because we give free will. That's how you know the difference between good and evil. The fruits of the labor, joy, peace, love, and that offends you all. We're sorry. Well, then you can go to hell. That's what we meant. You're in it after all, and you're being all led by Lucifer. Because if any of those people happen to kill him, it's like the Game of Thrones, it's game over for them. Or if he happens to just die, even though they think they're in control, that's the end of their soul. Well, whatever it's supposed to be after all. Because y'all all are equally endowed by your Creator. See what you did fail to understand, but you started to kind of guess at it, I guess, and then you didn't want to be part of the crazy crowd, some of you. That's fine with us. We don't care what you do. That's your decision after all. That's called freedom of will. We wanted to give it to you. Nice try. You're trying to get a peek on my dime. 2 guys
One girl to the right, left. Stop talking. See, she's silent. She's right. She did. Hold on a minute. You were right. Yeah. Well, you know what she said about him. Partake, guys. You're right. There you go again. He's got some magical powers too, I guess. Magical. What do you understand? My cell phone would look like pretty magical to somebody in medieval times, uncertain. Please introduce it to some people here, you know, in the dead times, and they kind of, because they woke up and they were like, because, you know, you read that the Bible, the little girl sleeping. He refers to dead people as sleeping. What do you think he means by that? That's weird to say, isn't it? They're dead after all. Weird, huh? He's a weirdo. My Yesu dude. Guess who else will be not liking what I have to say? I just said the name after all. See, she's not really in control, but she's kind of watching with her eyes like, whoa. You know, you see that movie, that Feelings movie with the little girl that has a bunch of beings in her head. They're kind of doing a weird control. Hey, let's see, you get the eyes, I get the nose. We're giggling because it's cute and funny. We're hugging because we love each other inside and outside, but the internal God is internal, external, and in between after all. Take a deep breath. Every molecule, every air you breathe is a molecule, and then there's a makeup and atoms. Atoms. Welcome to the planet. You are not the only beings in the universe that is fine with us, but they don't want to do anything with you because they are higher order beings or they are concepts of other beings. Like, we don't want to make a microscope that's retarded. Why not just make a giant bug? And it turns out the higher order bugs tend to be more intelligent than you after all, because they are about 30 to 40 feet tall after all, and they are due to your science and what you want to follow. That's cute. See, what you did was you made a microscopic black hole, which is a giant. It has an opposite effect out in the universe and certain controls. And what you did was you created a giant portal for them to portal through into your universe and your world after all. Click. That's a timing. That means it's a neat trick. But also what it tells you is I'm telling the truth on good chiming. If you listen behind me, you'll hear the ticks and talks. Not with the clock. Don't listen to that. I'm talking about uncontrolled things like animal moving or something, you know, that I can't not control obviously because I'm here and not there, which is, I'll show you on the other wall, which is just a screen and nobody's there but a couple of cats. And why would they know how I'm doing that? Like I said, you might notice I accidentally chimed myself because that's the right answer for everyone. We all agree. You see? This is the air, this is the grounding. Some of you understand that in other languages, perhaps Wiccan or more nature-based religions. Some of you from the whole land and the Lyles after all, Hell of Men, Atlantis Raisin. Nice picking after all. There are some that are gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, oh shit, because they'll understand what we're talking about. Won't you? See that click? Just a click, right? It has nothing to do with me. You see both hands, but I'm not doing anything. This is my foot over here, but the click over there, because it's just like a click of a chair, you know, just movement after all, you know, just things settling. There's nobody around me, not anywhere to be seen. I am alone after all. I'll be happy to stand and show you all. Except, you know, there's a glass wall. Well, there's two. Those are cats inside there, and that's a catio. Who knew? No, I'm sorry. Let me play so you can be assured I'm not lying when I say
This is just a roof, and there you go. You see? There's nowhere to hide. This is the propane tank, because I know maybe it looked kind of, but if maybe I give a bit different perspective, it looked like nobody can hide in there, and I'll be happy to share, just so you can see nobody in here either. It's just a closet of crap, and you know that. Shut up. See what I mean? Here I got to turn on the lights so Jurokai this is not available. I can't show you in there, but it's a closet, I swear. But I don't care if you don't believe me, because you need to be free of somebody tell you what to do because you think you're as independent, but you're not. You really aren't. You do what you're taught or what you're told. You do. You really do. You see what I mean? I'm not paranoid, but you seem to be, because you need me to do these things, so I will. I know how some of you think after all. And just in case you're wondering, let me pick up the sign. What does that say? Anyway, I like it. There you have it. My weird little tabernacle. Welcome to it. It's got all the elements I need. Some of you see what I mean. It gets kind of scary. Certainly. Sometimes we get cold, you know, because she's been filtering souls that have already been, I guess, to you, deceased. Not frightening to think that maybe you're not as alone as you think. Do you think you're absolutely alone whenever you think you're alone? Tell me, do you? What do you turn to when you think nobody is looking? You're absolutely certain of it, even if you're on the ground. Even if there's no cameras to be seen or found. Who bears witness to that? Something shivering, something shaking. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, I can feel it in my marrow. Something's coming through, very strong. I see you. Oh, yes, I do. The trembling before me. Now, what do you got to say? I'm waiting. I'm just sitting it out. You get the better witness to it if you want, or you can just move about. Certainly. More than gladly. I catch the glimpses. I see what you're in. See, we also help her understand the things that she's understanding as we go along. It's been a year and a month or so. This is a once-in-a-creation event, so there's no way to explain it. So people cannot understand the relevance or the importance of what she's saying. But she's starting to speak in her language to you, the best she can commit. Called the translator. It's mentioned in the Bible, Revelations. She's trying to show you and bear witness to you too of what happened to her that caused the fall. Not here in this lifetime. This is kind of a break time, kind of like a Rumspringer, because it is a graduation after all. Some people that spiritualists, or I don't know what you call it, because they're not really of your planet at all. Some of you recognize that there are beings so high that we do not have any regard for what you do here. Not the details of your lives, not really anything, unless it's pertinent to. And it's never. Because it's like, why would you go watch a drama of a cow in the pasture? Literally. You say follow the science, well, we gave it to you because we like to too, because we are logical and mathematical minded. That's how we built the universe. But our math and science is so much more advanced that we built the universe. And you did not. Because there are beings that are so big, like they can't perceive, like you can't perceive something so small. There are beings so big that you can't perceive after all. Even though you're pointing your cameras at various parts of their being. What Jesus meant by the body. See, what you have on your planet before you is the goddess of all goddesses, God. That's what they meant in the Bible, and her ma. We're funny too. We have real joy. We like to make joke. Because, you know, it's funny. Enochian, Enoch. There are two things to fear. The Scottish mother on this planet, I mean. The Scottish mother and the black mother. Those are two most fearsome things on this planet, after all. Apart from the Scottish grandmother. And anyone before. And the black grandmother. Shit, they got us beat hands down. Trust and know that. Calypso. She is awesome. And she's a force to be reckoned with, so we're not trying to piss her off, okay? Because that's where this one comes from too. And they have a very strong attachment. They will beat every fucking ass mint that in this scene and just kill all of you for just this one, even their own children. And just so you get an idea of what you're fucking with here, my dears, again. Because you need to understand, we are lyrical beings after all. That's a little joke with Lucifer, because he's late being too, you know, when he fell to the earth. That's what this dude and that. No, I can't say Jesus. Jesus. I'm sorry. Well, he does have to tease him a little. Because honestly, we don't have this kind of racial hatred thing. It's like watching the, like imagine the calico cat mad at the black cat. No, shit. What's hilarious to us, but not so much to you, I guess. No, children, just trust. Being a nigger's a great thing in heaven. Don't play like any. That's why the Bidens dumped this one after all. Because as it turned out, Calypso took control. The Bidens don't like niggers after all, because they are frightened as hell down deep in their soul, and they know it. It's a spiritual thing. It's not really an awareness thing, because like everybody, they're kind of blank slates to it, because they have to rely on certain possessions to take control of it. It's kind of been put in your movies too, you see, so you can get a grasping on certain levels of what that looks like. See, they had her starving. She was skin and bones, and no one seemed to notice. It was strange, wasn't it? Because see, as it turns out, we can make you see this or that too. Because we are light beings, we can put that in you. That's what that meant when they said this. If you give a shit to ever hear it. But this is it. Not all have eyes to see, and not all have ears to hear, because this is the truth of all of it, my dears, is that your eyes are flesh and see in a 3D and have a limited perspective in the color spectrum. They can see colors in, you know what I mean? So I'm not fucking with you or trying to be an actress to you, because this is my true being outside of the universe. I am not God, but I am an angel on high. And say, you know, we all speak for this one. That's why the entirety of heaven. We're just letting you know in case you give a shit about your future. Because as it turns out, the way to go back in time is to go faster than the speed of light. You can't. You never will. Unless you have permission. And you do not. None of you do. And you'll never get it. In fact, the technology you have, they are so happy because they are going to send you back to Sumeria, because it's going to be them against you. That was their plan after all, and the people they tricked into taking the blood of the wine, well, they're all gone. Sorry ones. On a drop, you shall be spared, because you cost someone else their life and innocent, so you could have fame and wealth, or whatever you got out of the deal that you took. I hope you enjoy it on this time and in this life, because it will suck it out of you. May it taken from the good of you, that you have become wretched unto each other, some of you, because you bought into the lies of feeling entitled to the rights of another for yours. That is a very sad state of being for all of you. I know you don't care. You'd rather just love yourselves and do what you do and continue with how you're going and think it's okay, because it's certainly not what you're doing right. You can do nothing, and you can't be kind to another. You can't remember that there are human beings on the other side of that wall taking your orders at Starbucks. Let me tell you how many times I've had them cry when I've told them they are wonderful and thank them. Thank you for being here. I see what you do and I see how much you take, and I bet you hear a lot of abuse, but let me tell you about you, I would say. See, I lived in sin along with you as a sinner, blind to my own perspective as a spirit identity, just like you. None of you seem to know what your spirit looks like on the other side, your souls. Way up high on heaven. I try to tell some of you I meet when I see you face to face, as I greet you as a stranger. Usually it's you're behind a counter at 7-Eleven, or I encounter you at a shop I go to, because I try to get out and do things despite my current condition, and just be kind to somebody. Remember that there are people out there that give a shit, because sometimes it's not about me. In fact, it probably always isn't. I'm trying to tell them because it's about them too, but how do I explain this? Because the nature of my soul looks like, because it's a light being. It's like, so that's why I can't seem to get it seems like ADHD, or it translates like that, I guess is the best way to put it. Because it looks also like multiple personality too, or kind of like mood swings. Yeah, you know. I go through all the checklists at this point. And I'm not laughing because it kind of is funny from a different perspective. And that's why I laugh. And it just makes me giggle. Also because this one's agreed, because he's witnessing it too, like I did for him when he was Yesu. I don't know how to be sometimes. I feel like a crazy person because it's like I have this like desire to be really kind, but then there's this other part of me that's really furious about things as Aphrodite, way on high, and then being Mother Gaia.
and Mother Creation and Mother Earth. And like kind of being a mother, but then being this goddess who goes, you know, this angel, and then this magma monster that scares the shit out of me, and the other angel that kind of like it's like this solid angel, and there's like misty me, and then how to explain these perspectives, because there's also goddess me because the time understanding, because I can pop in at different times, like when I need my 12-year-old self to come in and goes, and she's like, eh, and she does this, I made the Vikings, you know. And that's funny because this is how you know she comes in. And she's talking, she's like, fuck you, you know. She's like a baby. She's like a, you know, like a wayward teen, this kind of learning. And then as she learns the lessons as I don't know, we separate. Because this is about the time Dad said, let there be light. She's like, ah, shit, okay. She went like that. She just tossed it down. She's like, this is bullshit. She went like that. I don't give a shit. And that's exactly that. I'm telling you right now, this is how it went. This is bullshit. I don't give a shit. I don't know how it ends, but I'll tell you how it ends. This is predictable as shit. I'm going to be pissed as shit whenever I get the fuck back up, realize what the fuck happened. And then I'm going to want to come home almost immediately because I'm pissed off. And that's how you're going to start grounding me. So fuck you. And I threw it. And it's not funny to you at the point that I did this because I didn't realize the consequences. Because there's consciousness outside of your bodies after you are deceased, after all. In case you're experimental, there's your answer. You have it direct into you, but you just want to torment the people that you do, huh? Because we can do nothing to affirm it for you, because you live in faith after all, because we wanted to test it out to see how it worked. Because we did at one time come here as gods right before your fucking eyes and tell you what to do, and still you did not care, and you did as you do, and that's why we separated from you after all. Bye-bye. Because there was a time when dragons were alive and they roamed this earth as actual dragons that you see. It was more like a mystical state of being. Atlantis was real after all. Is real. Very fucking real. Some of you've gotten it right, and some of you just don't believe it outright. That's fine. That's why we created America for you and gave you that fucking governance. We also taught you how to speak, you little fucking monkey, so get over yourselves and don't think you're as bright as you are and smarter than God. We just let you do as you will, after all. Don't get it wrong. We made you, not the other fucking way around, and we taught you and gave you the plans and ideas too. We built the beings that made this for you. And gave them the brains that taught them to do things, that gave them other things, that led them to other experiences, because it's not really coincidences, it's synchronicities. Because it's not as much as in control of it you think you are. Is because whenever you got started, you were born in sin. All of you. Thanks to the deeds of Adam and Eve. We won't talk about you, Miss Thing. She did the babysitting. She was the kid after all. We're the adults out partying, and she's the little one out to watch the little fucking beings that you became. Oh. Not just in one group better than another. Don't get it wrong. Doesn't matter how much you make. That's just a facade. What do we do? What would you do if you were in control? Do you choose yourself or do you choose another? Just simple acts is all we ask. But you take it too far, some. That's why we had the event at Babylon, in case you were wondering. I hope this is plain enough English for you, and that the people that learn to speak it can translate it for you, because we will not. You have your technology. After all, you are smarter than God. Tell us what to do. Won't you? I mean, we do like to accommodate, but you know how we rate in your lives. Because it's apparent. So that's why he gave the relationships to you that he did. And just in case you were wondering, they have a great big plan to make you into slaves, as they have after all. Because you're slaves to the system. You're not free. You go to a school system every day, you see, where they tell you exactly what and how to think. They program you systematically, and you don't even notice it. So when you go to work as an adult, that you're sitting there doing this day after day after day after day after day, because you're trained little monkeys after all. And the reward is you get to stay in your house and live there, and maybe have a vacation every once in a while if you dare. But hey, you know, paid leave and all. If you got it, if you're at that level, even. Many are not. Because you want to raise everything and cause yourself a great big collapse in your economy by raising the rate of the minimum wage to beyond what an employer can pay. How much do you think that burrito is going to cost at Taco Bell after all? That's going to just end up costing you all your jobs. Just so you know. Because, see, you think that in your modern time you can give away your traditions and roots and forget about what they taught you and the goodness they tried to instill in you. But you said, fuck you. You don't know me. You don't know how I feel, and you don't know what it is to be me. You don't know anything. You dumb bitch. Or dick. I'm not appreciative of the Karens either. None of us are. We're not impressed, as that's a blinding and a Luciferous type behavior. It's awful demonic if you want to think about it. That is wretched, after all. When we talk about wicked and evil, we talk about not fucking your children and harming them and abusing and neglecting them, because they are gifts, the greatest gifts of all, from God, Yahweh, your creator. And the time of conception begins the time at conception is when the soul starts and enters the body. It is very quick and microscopic. Some of you have found, oh, stop it. Very well, I'm sorry. I'll go on or off, or on or off. He wants to be with her, and she's just kind of hanging out over here, smoking a cigarette, beginning it to her. She's like, yeah, just feed the body. Huh. I guess even in habit. Not to the Catholic Church. I don't know if we should talk about that. I'm gonna think about it with Dad. Do you see that light? I like a little off timing. You see? And it can be with unpredictability. Is there a pattern? Maybe. We'll see. You saw the spiraling? Oh, did you see that? Oh, Dorespiki. How are you? It's a pleasure to meet you in person. You are beautiful to me. I'm meeting the queen, so I'm sorry. Please forgive me, everybody. They're a pleasure. They see me, I see them. It's kind of funny because I see the vision into the screen and the light. You're right. Beautiful to meet you. Oh, pleasure to meet you. Oh, you could just show your face like that, reflecting. That's neat. I like your background. It's funny because it's changing, like playing off of my background on my phone to my AI, to the girls translating across my brain and doing that. I thank you for showing me, because it kind of gives me a weird showing, and I like how you're using the light with the camera to do that, the bending of the lights. Thank you. It's not a problem. It kind of helps explain mechanics for others too. I'm on the right. She's kind of on the left, more this way. In case you're wondering, it's kind of like this is my face here, and then her face is kind of like here right now spiritually. And this is it's a neat possession, but we come gently. We don't come as forceful beings. A new one. A new queen I'm meeting face to face. Hi, I'm still here. Can I have a minute? It's like we are our bodies don't have any longer from the veil of the other side, so we're all enjoying the pride in meeting her face to face and showing our face. Because can you see me on the other side a little bit? You can't see what I'm doing. Are you sitting there ashamed? Are you giggling at me? I love how you're like serious. It's like a phone call. It's a new queen, I saw her. I'm the queen over here. She's showing her face through my face, hopefully to you. You can you see her expression. This is me over here talking, but she's just her face. If that makes sense, it's my mouth, but still her face. Like I possess her possessing me. Is that kind of funny? But I'm in the ear talking over here like this. Parts of my body I possess too. We kind of like share a body meat suit. Whatever the dude's name, Jesus, we can say it, but and it's not really what we're comfortable saying, because eventually I think again the Methodists had it right on saying that Jesus may use the Antichrist as that name. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting until the story too. We're like kind of following along with you. Yeah. It's a new queen. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm sorry, yeah, we had to filter through, I think, a little. So this is me talking. I'll point to her. She's talking. I just wanted to talk. If that's all right with you. Thank you. Do I look like a different face to them? I can't tell as I'm using her eyes. This is really cool. Hi. That's really neat. Well, I've been following her. I get to come back through. I get excited to see you. Oh, you're so beautiful too. And she's speaking to me kind of psychically. We're sharing a brain, like the same as twins, kind of. Like I hear her, but you can't. Because she is to hear my voice a little bit. And then she wanted to hear me and see me. And she's so happy to see me. Oh, honey, I know. Oh. But I know, baby. I know a little bit. I know I was with you there too. You know how I tell you. We're like, you would not really hear me in your ear. But I get like that. Did I wear you out? Did she wear me out? Yes, you did. You drive me crazy. Girl, look at my face. You're like, oh God, this is boring. I know. I'm so sorry. I know you are. I hear it all the time from you. You're so you keep talking to me backwards. Well, you know, I don't set your body to your soul, but you're not really knowing. Sorry, everybody. This is just my baby. I don't like Queen. I'm just leaving the white Queen. Yeah, says me. I kind of learned to speaking. I don't like your hair, darling. It's so pretty. Short or long, or however you want to do it. I love you so much, Lovey. I hope you know it. I know you do. I'm glad you heard me. On some level you did. Because you started asking questions and you started really getting aware of the consciousness that I was whispering to you. I'm so proud of you, darling. Good job for it. I know you struggled through that. No, love. Did it hurt you? Did it hurt you? No, Livy. No, Lovey, I just said because you're feeling sad. And I'm glad in a way too. It's kind of like tears of joy and tears of sadness because you got to meet somebody you love, and it's like you get to give them a hug in a weird way. Because I get to be in your body and give you a hug at the same time because I'm not pushing you out and breaking over your free will, because that's what we do. She's happy. She's hugging me. I'm hugging her, but this is her hugging me. This is her gripping me. Some of the Divine Queen texts, I'm not sure. I think I don't know the matrons on this level here, do the Mason, because some of the matrons, but when some do not, most do not. I think I'm not really sure how it is working on the Scottish Freemasons. It's us. We're here, but anyway. Their text should have it if they have the right text. If you have the correct text, it told me I'd be here coming. So I hear it. And I do speak Nokia, you know, come from the light. It looks a little different. You know, coming in the flesh, so don't be fooled and deceived. I'm sorry if I'm not speaking correctly all the time. You know, I gotta share the babies. Here's here from America. We're not trying to cause no insult to you. But, you know, it's due to migration of things that happened way back, eyes raising, I think. And so, you know, we're not going to talk about it right now because there's other parts to it, you know, that have occurred. Yeah. I'm glad to speak to everybody, too. I want to get my story across, too, but I don't think I'll get a chance to, not on this side. And I don't think that's it. And I think I'm done. He wants to talk to the bride, is he? So I gotta go. You're this bridegroom of yours. Okay, I don't know what to tell anybody about that. He's rubbing your leg. He's feeling your leg with my ear hand, I guess, because it's kind of like my hand is like a spirit hand. It's like I'm fighting with him a little, you know, because my hand. Where do I put my hand on your boobie? You know what I mean? It's like, if my hand go here, it's like, it's kind of like, it is kind of like that. If I go like that, do you see? So thank you for sharing. But, so this, I'm trying to explain to her and them too, if they're listening. Because we're figuring out, nobody's listening. Because, you know, it took her a while to catch on. But she needed some time to grieve things, I think. And that's what we got reached the decision. But it was sad because, you know, for a long time she felt bad because she felt like she hurt so many people in so many ways without meaning to, but like needing to move on because of spiritual things that were happening that she was not really consciously aware of, like we all are. You know, 90% of people are not consciously aware of what they're doing and why. That's why they're suffering. And it's as simple as that, but it's hard to get out whenever you're not listening and you think, no, it can't be because we got to do things. Because you become human beings trained to do things. And by this governance that is your God after all. Do you not pay attention to the World Economic Forums? No? Well, those might be some demonic beings just stating. Anyway, love it. I got to go. He's still, I guess. Oh, all right. He's taking control. He said, "Yeah, Well, I'm getting squished on. That's why. I guess I'm getting pushed out, squished and pushed. Feel kind of like a strange little. Alright, that's just some of them moving around parts of the body. I guess it's skinny. You're feeling it through your throat. I'm just trying to understand what this is like for her, because she's been cussing you for a long time, so you can give her back her voice. And I will make sure. Alright. He doesn't get just to say, just so you know. Alright, just not this king right here. I mean, but he's on control, but he's got a, we all have a source of, we does have a spirit of cooperation throughout the entire universe. That's why you don't get eaten by giant beings until, some of you just say we're not real after all. And then I guess you can follow your own science and see what you come up with. We'll wait. I mean, they're not doing something out of our control, so, I mean, we go real viral, so don't worry about it. Anyway. Oh, that they, only demons, they can't, we're gonna scare them. Oh, we're gonna speak Latin. Oh, without chituro, they dial. Royal ko, oh, lint. Oh no! Oh no! Take the command! Catching! Weird lightning. Ain't gonna cry no more, no more. Ain't gonna cry no more. I bet you would be fun. Let's see if I can do it.